I'm back with episode 3 of Wheat Farming for Dummies, and today is probably, if you watch this, what you've been waiting for, the automatic farming systems of wheat. And we have pistons and water farms. Water uses the current of water to destroy the crops and then push them to a collecting area, and pistons just use the actuated redstone, or uses redstone to actuate the pistons to break the wheat stalk. Now pistons have I guess there's advantages and disadvantages to each. I think there's more disadvantages to pistons because I don't know, they're just I feel worse compared to the water farms. But I have a few of my own designs for you guys today to show you guys, to explain some automatic farming. So I'm gonna go over here and start with pistons, and this is a basic piston farm. I have 6 pistons on each side and wheat stalks in the center. And this is actually wrong, right? I have a lever that I have water coming out, so it's irrigated. If I hit this lever, actuate the pistons, retract them back, and then remove the water so I can walk in here and collect the seeds. And then I will have to till the soil again after. That's one of the disadvantages of a piston farm. You always have to till the soil after you've knocked over all the wheat stalks, because the piston destroys the tilled soil. And I will walk back out of here, click this lever again, and the water will come back. This is a very basic piston farm, and these wheat plants are irrigated by this water channel in the center. Very basic, and it has its light sources in the back. A little more complicated one. I kind of like this one a little better, although it's not an efficient farm. Well, it's more efficient. Yeah, 2 levels, 5 in each section. So there's 10 wheat stalks on a wall. And I can see that all the wheat is grown now. And if I flip this switch, the sticky pistons will actuate, knocking off all the wheat plants. I will retract them, and then I can go inside here, collect all of my wheat plants. And I have a chest here for storing said stuff that you might need to continue farming. There's a ladder here. You climb up, and you can retill all the soil, and then replant your wheat, and then replant your seeds. Now, this farm is irrigated. You won't notice it, but there is irrigation underneath this block, and if I remove this one, there's irrigation under these blocks right here. There's snow. Let me remove that. Alright, and so each of these blocks are irrigated to make the farm more efficient at growing wheat. Alright, I'm not going to plant this all now. I will go over to, well, this is my other piston farm. The last piston farm that I built, I actually designed both of these specifically for this video because I don't like to use them, so I didn't have any special designs. Alright, so now we're going to go to the first water automatic wheat farm that I actually saw someone else build, and it's a very basic one using water. So if you like this one and you need a basic farm, you can use this one. You just come down here, and we have the pistons. All the pistons line up along the back wall. A solid thing of water lined up all along the back wall. We have a switch here that will actuate that will retract the pistons, thus releasing the torrent of water. Now, I have to leave the and then I'm gonna flip the water off, and then I can go and collect all of my seeds and wheat stalks. Now, I don't really particularly like this one anymore because only way to get it to work is to have these blocks here, and your seeds and wheat will get stuck inside the air that's inside the air in between here and will not get pushed to the center. This farm is also irrigated. There is 1 block of water behind each of these, and then it's irrigated from this side using this water, and it irrigates the whole channel. And now I do have redstone in this farm. It's back here, and it just kind of runs along the pistons, runs along top of it and activates the pistons. And let me show you the redstone for the other farms. For this one, it's under here. Now what I have happening is there's an initial pulse of current that goes into this block, and therefore it'll turn off this redstone and turn on this torch, which then actuates the pistons. But then it shuts off because this repeater delays another signal into this block, and then after this one flashes on, actuates the pistons, and then flashes back off, so I can replant the seeds. And then I have other wire running all the way to the back under here to actuate a piston that is underneath the water block, and when that piston closes, the water no longer has access to move. For this one, very basic. I feel like it's basic. I have a switch here, which then sends a redstone signal along here. Triggers all of these redstone repeaters, which then trigger both of the pistons on both rows. And I just have the signal extended all the way around. So that's a very simple. Redstone circuit. Alright, so we did the one in the ground, the very basic one. Now here's a bit of an upgrade. Over here, this one's a bit of an upgrade. There's a little storage house, I guess you could call it, that I built at the end of it. So I come in here. There's little stairs up here so I can see the wheat, because all the wheat. So from down here you can't see the upper levels. So I can see all the levels from up here and check for the wheat plants, make sure they're all grown. And this wheat farm is also lit up so it can grow at night, and it is also irrigated from water sources under these side blocks on both sides. This is 8 blocks wide, so one source on each side will go 4 blocks in and irrigate the whole farm. If I flip this switch, it'll retract, or it should anyway. Why didn't it? Oh wait, that's why. I never finished placing the redstone. Well, that's a bit of a problem. Let me just grab a repeater. I'm gonna need a repeater to do this signal. I'll just like spam the repeater because I can't tell how much signal it's gonna send, so just spam the repeater. Okay. Now that that's done, whoops-a-daisies. Alright, so now if I flip this switch, it retracts the pistons, releases the wave of water, and destroys all of the wheat stalks. And you have to let this one run for a bit because you don't want all the wheat stalks in the back are not in the front. You let it run until all the wheat has come down to the collection area of here. Right there. As you can see, instead of running through this whole farm and destroying every single wheat plant, I have quickly and efficiently destroyed all of them and have gathered them into a certain area. Now the only way to make the pushing of the wheat of the dropped items more efficient is to put it on ice, blocks of ice, then it slides faster. But that doesn't really work because they have to grow on dirt, and the only place I could put ice would be down here, and it doesn't even matter at that point anymore. Alright, so let's collect all these, turn this one off, close the pistons, thus stopping the water flow, and then you could go and plant more seeds. Now the specs for this one would be this is an 8x8 square of dirt on the bottom here. This upper level is this second level is a 4x8. And then this the top level is a 7x8, and it also has some blocks here to make sure the water spreads out evenly along the upper level to then go down to the bottom level. Now this one is a personal favorite and very well. This is a definite invention of mine that I have perfected with a lot of work. It took me a while to figure this out. It is what I don't know what I want to call it yet. I'm gonna call it my wheat dome for now until I find a better name. But As you can see, it is a circle. I have made a circle. I have made a circular wheat farm, and this is a very compact design of wheat farm. I think it's a compact design. And what you would do is, it is also automatic. From the outsides we have the pistons, which are extended, thus keeping the water blocks inside their designated areas. And if we flip this switch, the pistons retract, destroying all the wheat plants, pushing them into 5 locations, because what I found out was that with the way the water is, there ends up being stagnant. There ended up being like still water in some locations, and where that was, still water was here, where the glowstone blocks are. And then, so I decided, if I figured out that if I placed a block there, then water would run into this, then the water would run into this back corner on all sides. So I decided to put another collection area there, so the wheat plants drop in. Let me just get these last few wheat items. So they all drop in at some point, and then they are funneled into a central collection area. They're all funneled into this central collection area, and then funneled out. And inside here is just basic redstone wiring. It's not very, I mean, it's effective, but it's not very inefficient. It's not an efficient wiring system. And then all the water, or not water, the wheat plants are pushed out here. No, they're not. That's why, because I destroyed some blocks. I destroyed 2 blocks here. But if those blocks were there, then I'll just place some wheat plants in here so you can get the idea. And eventually those will be pushed out to here, down into the collection area. Now, I personally really like this one because it's my own design and it's a very efficient farming. Oh, I forgot to talk about irrigation in this one. It may not look like it's irrigated, but it is all entirely irrigated using these water blocks in the center. These help irrigate it, and then they also help push it into that central block. As you can see, the water is flowing into the center, and the only way I could get it to do that is if the water would drop down a block. The water has to drop down a block and then stop. If the sign was here to stop the water, this would just become entirely still water, and it wouldn't flow into the center, and all these things would be stuck there. So if I drop it down a block, it then flows into the center. And underneath here, underneath all of these side pieces, there's a 5x1 channel of water that irrigates the parts that the central blocks can't reach. And if you watch the last video on irrigation, 1 water block will irrigate a 9x9 square. That's 80 water blocks, and this works on that same principle, because obviously otherwise, well, it works on the same principle because it wouldn't work otherwise. Alright, so I hope that I gave some basic ideas to you future future designers of great and big automatic wheat farms. I mean, I have built bigger. These are just a few of my designs. This was one that I kind of designed, but I kind of like it's kind of like sort of like a copy off of other basic designs that people have. This one is my own personal design, made for this video because I don't use pistons, as I've stated. So has this one. I have designed this one specifically to give another kind of interpretation that someone could go with piston farming. The you know, where the pistons pulse and then the water goes away, and then you flip the switch back and then the water comes back to irrigate. And then I have the first one that I saw used, and it really wasn't a tutorial used. I just kind of saw an appearance and had to copy what I saw, and it came out to be something like this, but it is similar to the one that I saw. This one isn't efficient at all. I don't like it, but I learned it, and this is what has sprung me on to build the bigger and better ones, such as my wheat dome. Looking for a better name for it though. And then piston farms, inefficient because they will revert any dirt block back to regular dirt, not soil. It won't be the tilled soil anymore. And that's one reason I don't like it, because water will not do that. Pistons will. It becomes less inefficient because you have to till the soil after every use. So use water farms where you can. If you have to use a piston farm, I don't know why, you can use one. But hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.